Hello and welcome to the Copper Link. In this episode, we'll be looking at a star character called Winterfell Kennelmaster, who has an interesting ability. When you have a participating star character, the Winterfell Kennelmaster lets you kneel a direwolf character or a character with a direwolf attachment to have it participate in the current challenge on your side. And this is an ability that we have seen before in a Game of Thrones card game. It actually has a fairly long history. Players from 1st edition will immediately recognize this as being very similar to naval enhancements. Naval enhancements was a mechanic that was introduced in the 9th cycle of a Game of Thrones 1st edition called A Song of the Sea. It was a special enhancement that existed on or could be added to an individual challenge icon. Having the naval enhancement allowed a character to be declared as an attacker or defender outside the normal window for that. While the Kennelmaster allows direwolves to jump into any challenge regardless of icons, the naval enhancement meant that you could jump into challenges that you had the specific naval enhancement icon for. But this was not the first time this ability had been seen, however. The naval enhancement mechanic itself was inspired by an earlier mechanic. The basic ability of jumping a character into a challenge was first seen in A Sea of Storms with the character Great Jon Umber. He could kneel to jump into a military or power challenge as an attacker or defender. That followed up by Andrik the Unsmiling, a Greyjoy character from A Flight of Dragons, who could jump in as an attacker in military challenges. House Greyjoy, along with Stark, has always been one of the most prominent houses for this type of ability, and House Greyjoy also had a forecast location, the Isle of Pike, which granted the ability to jump into a challenge to any Greyjoy character that had the correct icon. They also had the Knight, which was the first character with this ability who could jump into any challenge, regardless of which challenge icons he had. Later in 1st edition there was also an attachment which granted this ability to any character. There was also a location, Longship Maidensbane, which turned into a character and had the same ability to kneel to participate in the current challenge as an attacker or defender. Other than characters that could jump into a challenge from in play, there was also a group of characters who could jump straight into a challenge from your hand as an attacker or defender. The first of these was Horseback Archers, a Targaryen character who could jump into military challenges. Next there was the Whale Ward, who was a dual house Baratheon and Stark character who could jump into power challenges instead. Then in 1st edition there was a version of Catelyn Stark who could jump into either intrigue or power challenges. The final character I will highlight is Walder Frey, who was a strange character. After defenders had been declared, he would jump into the side of a challenge that was currently winning, which made him a jumper, but a really crazy one. That concludes our look at challenge jumpers. Until the next time, take care and happy jumping.